Who's behind door number 53? The Initiator. Life itself knows only expansion. Its intensity, beginning and cycles. This archetype is a vessel for the pulse of a new beginning. The Initiator embodies the energy of serendipities and opportunities that unfold to bring every beginning to its full expression. The Initiator is an effective launchpad and serial starter. He is always open to fresh, imaginative and original experiences. He has genuine intentions every time he begins anew, yet he's not necessarily the one to finish everything he starts. The Initiator has a close relationship to the Nomad, the 42nd archetype, who, when they work together, has this necessary energy to finish their projects and close cycles. Together they feel into the cyclical nature of life, allowing tides to end and start without pushing, hurrying or resisting. The Initiator has an intimate relationship to the Achiever, the 54 archetype. They both adore the feeling of expansion and creating prosperity. The Achiever knew at first sight that the Initiator was the perfect partner, and that together they would be more successful than each of them apart. The Achiever was also attracted to the Initiator's aroused and passionate life force. The Initiator loves to feel chosen and appreciates the Achiever's aspiration and self-assuredness. Even if they both like outer abundance, they role model that the expansion of frequency can only happen through the heart. Their hearts are open and trusting life just as it is, with no attachment to money or 3D power structures. The union between the Initiator and the Achiever activates the frequency of real prosperity through alignment with the universal evolutionary impulse. By surrendering in this way, they are continually replenished and expanded. The Initiator will sow many seeds in his garden. Every seed has an intention and something in it will grow and mature into. It matters what kinds of seeds he plants and into what soil. It's not just about beginning, it is about beginning correctly, and initiating is an art. If the Initiator doesn't enter a new adventure correctly or learn from each endeavor, he can find himself repeating old patterns that need resolve before he can move on in a cycle with higher frequency and potential. This is how he constantly matures and expands. The Initiator realizes that life consists of endless beginnings and no definite endings. The Initiator has learned that everything has its own timing and its own harvest season. Embodying growth and maturity takes time. The Initiator doesn't rush expansion. It happens organically, and all forms must eventually outgrow themselves. His keywords are life force, endeavors, expansion. His internal motivator, the fuel to start. Positive attributes are always up for something new, believes in quantum leaps. His Achilles heel, no energy to finish things, tendency to move on before lesson learned. Repeated patterns if cycles aren't allowed to end naturally. Its gene key patterns are victim of inability to complete, and its dilemma is restlessness. Its repressive nature is solemn. You risk being fixed into a single activity your whole life. There is a deep sense of sadness in you, as though you might implode at any moment. It takes an enormous pressure to be serious in life, and it betrays a vast unconscious reservoir of fear. You will also find it near impossible to embrace new things in life. You try to hang on to the control by keeping everything exactly as it is. You don't cope at all well with change, and it tends to drive you even deeper inside yourself, where you wall yourself off from the world. The reactive nature is fickle. You move from one thing to the next without following through with anything. You are always beginning new things, but without any sense of commitment in developing them further. The only reason you begin something new is to escape your greatest fear of being trapped in a cycle in which you might have to face yourself. Ironically, you do remain trapped in a repetitive cycle of beginnings that lead nowhere. Your life may look exciting at times, but you lack any real depth or fulfillment. You are not honest in who you are, and hence trigger angry reactions wherever you go, further justifying your urge to be fickle. To dive deeper into the energy of the 53, you can ask yourself the following questions for self-inquiry. In what areas of your life are you seeking new experiences? How do you react to boredom? Does your restless nature make you an eternal seeker? Do you often begin things and never complete them? What part of your life have you outgrown? In what areas of your life do you experience immaturity? What does it mean to be mature? What is the true essence of this beginning? When you are in the creation process, why do you commit to certain types of new beginnings? Is this truly correct for you or not? Are you following your intuition and inner knowing, or is it something else that makes you think you should? When you're truly in the flow with it, this archetype is always starting the right experience or bringing the energy of starting to others. It attracts the right people to finish the project. For more information and free resources, you can go to unlockyourdesign.com.